All right, I just want to share our 100-kilometer journey from Pokemon Go, from Olympia to Kent in Washington State. So I hope you enjoy. Pretty cool, pretty fun, hell of a grind. So, where are we? We are in the world. I live in the United States, so I wanted to just kind of put down on the map kind of how much of a hike this was, which is pretty cool. So here's the United States of America, and in Washington State, we live in the South Puget Sound-ish region, and we walked from Olympia, technically Tumwater, all the way to Kent, and this map represents all the dots, which are a kilometer each, and we're going to stick that off to the side here during this presentation so you can kind of keep up and see how we progressed over time. So 0 kilometers, this is Charlie and I decided, we wake up at midnight and it's like we haven't really slept that much. Are we really willing to do this? And of course we are, because it's all about the grind. And I brought my Eternatus with us, which is a huge part of my Pokemon Go legacy. And we had 400 kilometers as the task, started off 151, so we'll keep track of that at the end, and 248 field research tasks. Here is kilometer 1. Yay, we did it. 99 to go. All right, we're starting this 100-kilometer day journey at a Jim Brown Park in Olympia, Washington. And this is my dedication to the grind. I got 400 kilometers to go. This will only get me a little bit closer. I won't be at 400. But shout out to Brandon Ton for the inspiration. You and I share the same kind of Pokemon Go philosophies. And yeah, we're going to get some good grind out time, walking time, thinking time. And this is a good, as I would like to say, cleanse from the daily activities. Let me forget all the things, catch a few Pokemon, and grind it out. This is for the grind. So I decided to use an auto catcher, and literally like 10 minutes in, an Azelf runs away from the auto catcher. So that's how it goes. For those of you that use auto catchers, you know this happens from time to time. Shinies disappear, so forth and so on. So we didn't take a picture every single kilometer, but it was kind of like within this kilometer, let's take pictures. A smile for you. So we hit the high school at 12:45 in the morning / night, and then this happened. They actually had a camera on the back of their car, and they were doing this on purpose, and they had skill. It was pretty amazing, but I didn't record the whole thing. And then a park bench in the woods, and the trail made us go through here. We're like, is that actually the trail? And then we hit the streets, got to Lacey. This is where one of Charlie's friends kind of lives nearby there. Moratorium, 10 kilometers in, fire station, neighborhood. Like I said, we didn't take a picture every single kilometer, but it was kind of like, what's the coolest thing we can see in this kilometer? And in this kilometer was me and some lights. So 16 kilometers in, my shadow was the thing, Charlie, and some random reflector. We finally hit the first fill up around 19 kilometers. We hit 20 kilometers and passed the casino and getting my grub on because there was nothing else. Another interesting reflector and getting my drink on. It's always humbling to come across these, so pay respect and kind of be like, wow, they died here and we're here and there's cars passing us, so humbling to say the least. Lights on. We missed the park opening by 38 minutes. Made it to Yelm. Here's a Buddhist circumstance, and this is one for y'all to look up. Interesting stuff in Yelm. Drive through attitude adjustments. 30 kilometers. We come across another trail. Yelm is a gateway to Mount Rainier. A bunch of the small towns are very proud of their water towers. A lot of military respect. Starbucks was in effect. This is pretty cool. Pause it here if you want to check that out and read it. Odie. Just a random sign. And passing the Nisqually River. I want to give shout outs to nature around. And this was ridiculous. There's this beautiful bull and a gorilla watching it. I never thought I'd take a picture with all those in one shot, but it happened. And then 7 hours, 30 minutes in, Pokemon Go was represented. I guess I should just say Pokemon and trading cards and stuff. Get your barrels on, another neighborhood thing. Somebody was selling new trucks and old trucks. More veteran action at this pet resort. I also take a lot of pictures of birds and kind of a naturalist. So rock pigeons, shooks, and don't trespass here, they're serious. 40 kilometers in, roofing, the number's gone though, so whatever. Got some more grub on, chicken and Gatorade, and we make it to Roy. We hit the sweet spot, Another water tower, California poppies. We'd actually see some of these later. And then we hit the military base, Fort Lewis, which we had to walk around. Unfortunately, we wanted to go by the water, but we have to walk around. You can't walk through the military base. Another pay respect. And this is a non-native flower called hairy cat's ear. What up, Will? Look at this long, straight road from Roy to basically, what's the name?
Spanaway?
Spanaway. Anyway, thanks for the attention. We'll be there at some point. So I just messaged Will a little bit, and he said he was probably going to meet us at some point, so I sent him a quick video. Here's the military base, Joint Base Lewis McChord. American robins, California scrub jay, more military base stuff. This stretch right here was just brutal, straight, nothing out there. Obviously, except for the other animals. Common raven, nice little wreath. 50 kilometers, halfway there, and we actually lost internet completely for a little bit here, probably like 30, 45 minutes. So here's the loading screen. Non-native Scotch broom, and when you're near the military, they show off the might of the military frequently, and lots of alcohol containers all over the road. The military and religion are very tightly associated in this country. Eggnog lattes, Smallfoot Dental, and here's where we had our Burger King time dump. So huge gap in between these two. Anyway, moving on, lots of pictures. Bald eagle flying over, golf course, Cajun food, Parkland, another city, 60 kilometers in, Kids Dental, Barber for Life, Frugals, and again, for those of you local, you'll recognize a lot of the stuff. Busy Bee, I'm a beekeeper as well, so all the bee things. And this was a really cool sidewalk thing. Read it if you want. Midland, and then we've got United States, we've got God, and we've got the Seattle Seahawks, y'all. Another park, Canada geese, and this lovely little caterpillar, which in November was interesting to be out. Another city, and here's a nice skeleton on a tractor. Going with the Halloween theme, even though it was over at that point. Yeah, some interesting horror on the side of the road. Kilometers, 70% of the way done. We're supposed to go through this forest, but it's closed due to logging. I'm a big fan of Volkswagen, so beautiful Volkswagen here. And then it got dark again, so we had to turn the light back on so we didn't get hit, and we could see a little bit where we're going. Drive like your kids live here. Puyallup. And then Will showed up, and it was so cool.
What a journey.
Woo! And you were pumped this up.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys got quite a bit more to go, I guess.
I can't believe you're going to do the whole thing.
No, you guys have done already 17 hours, so you guys are doing well. And you're wearing shoes.
Stepping up.
Yeah.
Let me get a picture of the bridge.
Yeah, I was surprised that wasn't a Pokestop. 1931.
Oh! What's going on? No. You guys got? I got Gatorade if you guys need it.
Yeah, I brought fruit and other stuff. Yay. If you guys want bananas or whatever. Yeah.
You got a banana you said?
Yeah. Yeah, heck yes. And
I had a bunch of food. We probably should have Dude, seriously, like, so rejuvenated. Yeah, I got life again.
What? We feel better all of a sudden.
I'm like a firefly. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, Dave definitely probably his light bulb. There you go. Cool. I've had 2 lights. The first one lasted all night to the daytime. Woo! So we're gonna see if this one lasts the whole time. The next wave, yeah. Oh, so we just hiking again. That's what this is. City hike. City hike. I just hope we don't have to go up any more hills.
I think it's pretty flat from here.
Yeah. We're down in the valley, right? Yeah.
Way to get your creep on, dude. I was showing where my balls are out almost.
Yeah, he got two.
There's no
There's
Pokestops out.
Two left.
You'll see plenty more. What? Hey,
I can't believe you showed up. You're so cool.
Right. This is like a crazy like whale thing.
I know. I almost texted you guys like, somebody get the here now.
Hey, can we do a group picture in front of the bridge? On the bridge?
So we got met by some of our community, and I think one of the things, again, Brandon, Ton, like, this is all about community, y'all. You can play the game solo, but these other individuals here, we've been on hikes before in the past, and it was a complete surprise that they were going to join us for the last of this. And you know, it's getting dark, it's getting late, and at this point we're really tired, but they completely rejuvenated us, and this is really one of the things that made the whole trip. So don't forget about your community, be with your peoples, be encouraging, and play together. This was just amazing, and as I'm going over this right now and presenting this, I'm reliving the joy. So just absolutely amazing. So passing another area, and then a train hit us. So yay, we got a train moving this fast. So another slowdown. Not too unbearable, but man, in the middle of the night, just kind of like, I guess it was in the middle of the night, but yeah. Anyway, we had some barriers that we had to overcome. The line got crazy long. Nice little marketplace. 80 kilometers in. Little rooster on the side of the road. Celebrate yourselves. And then finally getting to King County, and this is where everything becomes super familiar. Again, Charlie lives in Olympia, super familiar, and then would disappear familiarity, and then it just gets so much more familiar. So back on the historic 99, getting a break in. Interesting bowling alley, lovely little wolf circumstance. Burgers, so much food everywhere, and from our region, Dick's Burgers is a pretty amazing staple. Here's me taking a picture of Charlie, and someone taking a picture of me, taking a picture of Charlie. Rolling through. Interesting cow up there, Longhorn. 90 kilometers in, you can feel it, you can feel it. Somebody broke into the mailboxes here. Cool gate. Military road, obviously a lot of military around. This is Japanese knotweed, another non-native invasive plant. Passing under a bridge, some more Christmas lights, another neighborhood, cool electrical box, and this is the destination, City of Kent. So now we're in city limits, and this, for you guys that know Kent, this is that lovely little display down by the golf course.
It is 12:10 a.m. and there they are, crossing the bridge over the Green River by the golf course.
Shout out to Will for doing all the narrations. Downtown Kent starting the festivities with some snowflake lights. Moving along, the sumo sushi. And there it is, 100 kilometers at that moment. 58 of the kilometers were in the dark, 42 were in the light. But then we had to actually get to our play area where we congregate mostly, so it was still a little bit further to go. There's the official watch timer.
How many kilometers today?
100, man. This Will Chamberlain numbers.
Wrong. Today is the 23rd.
We got
so...
one kilometer.
Oh, Will's always got the jokes. That was excellent. Yep, 1 kilometer that day. Beautiful. Oh, and that's a shout out to Brandon Ton. I can still jump. And Will's a big mushroom guy, so to find shaggy mane on this walk under a bridge coming out of gravel was kind of cool, weird, strange, ridiculous. Here's the crew that went. Just absolutely amazing. Shout out to Amal, Will, Randy, and Thomas for me, Danny, and Charlie making this amazing journey. You know, it is all about the journey. It is all about the people. I did catch some Pokemon, but this was just absolutely phenomenal.
All right, we got 100 kilometers in,
It took us 24 hours and like 39 minutes. We were at one Burger King for like 35 minutes. So 100 kilometers in a little bit more than a day. And we're definitely feeling it. My feet hurt, but everybody does a grind in their own way. One of my favorite sayings is, a ship is safe in the port, but that is not what a ship is for. Get your grind on how you want. And I had company for the whole 100 kilometers. And she doesn't even play the game that much. Peace. So, some stats along the way. I've had my 3DS on my hip since 2016, basically. It's recorded almost 30 million steps. On that day, officially for that day, Saturday, 174,000 steps, which is definitely my highest that's ever clocked on the 3DS. Highest hour is about 9,600 steps. The lowest hour when we were waiting at the Burger King, which you can see in this droop right here, was 4,100. And then we were starting to lose motivation here, and it's super obvious. Then our community members show up, and we get rejuvenated and just knock out the rest. Without that, we may have gone down a little further. We still would have got it done, but man, it's so crucial, so important, and very humbled by their efforts. So my watch clocked 102.5 kilometers. I stopped my watch at about 25 hours. It claimed 7,800 calories, which I believe. And then for the Pokemon Go numbers, started at 151 kilometers, got to 252. Officially 101.6 kilometers tracked by Pokemon Go. 49 field research tasks done because there was just fewer Pokestops in the rural areas. So shout out to rural players. You guys have a hard grind all the time. I ended up using 800 Pokeballs, 300 Great Balls, 300 Ultra Balls throughout this. I ran out of balls a bunch of times, had to spin, and it's kind of funny. Caught 1,108 Pokemon, mostly with the auto catcher. Spun 288 Pokestops, mostly with the auto catcher, and gained approximately 746,000 experience in this grind. So it turned out to be a 101.6 kilometer journey from November 22nd to the 23rd. Absolutely proud of this accomplishment. It was a challenge. We really enjoyed the experience. It did hurt a little bit physically, but I think everyone should push themselves in whatever way they can, right? Your body is a capable thing, and some are more capable than others, but if you're not pushing yourself, you're not necessarily improving, you're not necessarily getting better, and health is a huge part of your life. So make sure you maintain good health, push yourself, make sure your body's responding and taking care of the business. And here's the outro. Small little security camera at my house. I didn't even realize would capture that. So thank you for watching, and good night.